8 hidden signs you're suffering from depression and you don't know it yet. We have a misconception that depression is very easy to identify. In Hollywood movies, they always put it as someone very sad or very tired, but depression is not always obvious. That is why many of us suffer from it in a silent way. Sometimes we may be smiling on the outside when we are dying on the inside. Depression is a silent killer. Many people are afraid or ashamed to ask for help, so they carry on with their lives as if nothing happened and live with their depression in secret. But there are certain patterns or habits that the depressed person may give you as a sign that they are suffering from depression. It is important to remember that depression is an illness, a mental illness that can be fatal if not treated correctly. Every year, millions of people suffer from depression and very few seek help. That's why it is very important that friends and family learn to identify the signs of depression. Before we get into it, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and activate notifications to stay up to date with our updates. Here are the 8 hidden signs that you could be suffering from depression without you knowing it. Number 1, you change your daily routine to avoid your pain. There are several ways to treat depression, such as going to therapy or taking antidepressant pills. But also many people with depression, to combat it, listen to more music than usual or spend more hours in the gym. Anything that distracts them from the pain they are feeling. Hidden depression exists when you try to silence the demons in your head, a bleak picture that nothing will ever change and there is nothing you can do to improve the situation. Number 2, they appear to be very happy and lively, but they have reckless behavior. The idea that all people with depression have a very sad personality is false. Depression is much more than a state of mind. Those who live with depression have learned to modify their mood in front of others. You consider them the happiest people you know. Personality can often vary. People with depression try to show the public the optimistic aspects of their behavior, regardless of what they are feeling inside. No one wants to bring others down, even if it means hiding their feelings. Researchers from the University of Rochester Medical Center found that depression is hard to detect when people have a cheerful disposition, especially seniors. The research team had thought that introverts would have a hard time snapping out of their depression, but apparently, it is the opposite. It is not necessary to ensure that a happy and sociable person may be immune to depression. Number 3, you have lost interest in daily activities. You are not interested in your old hobbies or social activities. The depressed person may abandon activities they used to like. Disinterest in one's pleasurable activities is a frequent indicator of depression, since the disease depletes physical and mental energy, drastically reducing the ability to feel satisfaction. If there were no other plausible explanations for the person's growing disinterest in activities that they used to enjoy, this very fact could be an important symptom of depression. Number 4, you have changes in appetite and weight. People with depression may be eating more or less. Significant weight gain or loss, with a change of more than 5% of body weight in a month. The alteration of eating habits can be a side effect of carelessness in one's life, or even an attempt to deal with the disease. It may be that excess food is a way of trying to feel some pleasure, for example, or that you lose your appetite, or it is an indicator that even eating has become tasteless and heavy. It is frequent to think that someone's bad eating habits are due to a lack of discipline, but can also be important signs of clinical depression. Number 5, you get very philosophical. You constantly think about the purpose of your life. People with depression tend to think about the things in life that are hopeless. When you manage to talk to a person with mass depression, it is possible that the conversation revolves around philosophical topics that are not usually talked about much, such as the meaning of life. They can address topics such as occasional thoughts of hurting yourself or even thoughts of death. They can also talk about the search for happiness or how to change your life. This type of topic can be an indication that a person is struggling internally with dark thoughts, which they do not dare to openly share. Number 6, changes in sleep. When someone seems to change their usual way of sleeping or eating significantly, it is often a sign that something is wrong. Sleep is the foundation of both good physical and mental health. When a person is unable to fall asleep or sleeps for too long, it can be an indicator of depression. Number 7, you are easily irritated, feel agitated, restless or even violent. Your tolerance level is bad. You have a bad temper at everything and everyone. They make you nervous, although it's like the idea that a person with depression is quite grumpy and apathetic. That's why many people don't imagine that they are depressed. Number 8, they are almost always tired. You feel fatigued, slow, and physically exhausted. Your whole body can feel exhausted. Even small tasks can be exhausting and long to finish. Many people think that people with depression do not want to leave their room, neglect their appearance, and are always sad, but depression does not have the same symptoms in all people. Many patients manage to show an appearance of good mental health, but underneath that, they are exhausted. Indeed, a fairly common effect of depression is permanent fatigue. How depression affects women. Women are more prone to experience symptoms such as pronounced feelings of guilt, excessive sleepiness, overeating, and weight gain. In women, depression is also affected by hormonal factors during menstruation, pregnancy, and menopause. Up to 1 in 7 women experience depression after childbirth, a condition known as postpartum depression. How depression affects men. Men, just like women, can develop depression. Depressed men have been shown to be less likely to acknowledge feelings such as self-hatred or hopelessness. Instead, they tend to complain of fatigue, irritability, sleep problems, and loss of interest in work and hobbies. They are also more likely to experience symptoms such as anger or aggression. How depression is expressed in teenagers and older adults. In adolescents, the most common symptoms are irritability, anger, and agitation. They may also complain of headaches, stomach aches, or other physical pain. Older adults tend to complain more about physical problems such as fatigue, inexplicable pain, and memory problems. They can also neglect their personal appearance and stop taking essential medications for their health. The most difficult thing about depression is that people try to hide it. Feeling melancholic or sad at some point in our lives can be difficult, but generally, they are feelings that disappear after a few days. When these emotions control us and remain throughout the day, causing us great suffering, exhausting us physically and mentally, or altering our work, school and family activities, we must alert ourselves, as it could be depression. If you think they suffer from depression, speak with your doctor, psychologist, or therapist. Asking for help is the first step. Tell us below if someone you know gives you signs that they are depressed. We hope that this video was helpful. If you have anything to add, please share it with us in the comments. Like this video and send a link to your family and your best friends, so they also know how to. If you are new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe. Identify when someone is depressed, so they can help them.